Hello viewers, and we are back with another F122 video on the Wayne's World channel. I'm Wayne. Thank you very much for joining me, and thank you so much for getting us past 100 subscribers. That's the first big milestone that we wanted to pass before the end of 2022, and you guys have helped me do that, so thank you so much. So in honor of that, let's give you 100% effort on the online ranked lobbies, and we're starting off in Canada, qualified in P1, and now we're trying to run away with it. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a battle behind us, which is helping us pull out a little bit of a gap, as second and third place are trading positions. Edward Bruce and Brosif Stalin, little bit of an interesting name there, are fighting it out for second place, and it means that we can open up a gap of about a second to our racers behind, and that's what we need in these online lobbies if we want to come away with the victory. And we're still trying to push to master rank. At the minute we are still in silver 2, which is not too bad. We need to pick up more wins though. And at the end of lap number 1, we've got away cleanly, things are looking good, and we are setting ourselves up, hopefully, a comfortable victory. And now as we look back to the battle for second place, there's a spin, and that takes out one of our opponents. It was a three-way race, it looked like, for the lead at some stage, and Brosif Stalin has spun. Can't say I have any sympathy for him with a name like that. And now it's between ourselves and Edward Bruce for the race lead. The rest of the guys behind, they're already over 3 seconds behind us. It's lap number 2. It would take a monumental bottle job here for me to finish anything lower than second. But if you've watched some of my videos before, you'll know that that isn't entirely impossible. Coming towards the end of lap number 2, and we're still in first place, over half a second in front of Edward Bruce, but he does set the fastest lap of the race, so he is closing. We have to keep our wits about us as his first dive, looking down the inside there at turn 2. We managed to keep the door shut. It was a bit brave from him. Could have lost the front wing there as he looks again down the inside, forcing us to exceed track limits because we don't want to crash into him. And there he is, pushing so much that he spins around exactly the same place that Brosif Stalin has. Maybe this is an episode of Mario Kart. Maybe I dropped a banana skin behind me, and that's what's caused my opponents to spin on consecutive laps. Brilliant for us though, as we pushed on towards the end of the race. Lap number 5, we've gone purple in the middle sector, fastest of everyone, and now all we have to do is push all the way to the end and try to bring home this fastest lap of the race as well as the victory. We led all the way through, a smooth getaway, a smooth race really, apart from a little bit of defending from Edward that we had to do. Come around, avoid the wall of champions, we keep it out of the barriers, push on towards the start finish straight, and that's the fastest lap of the race. And all of that intimidating racing from us, all of that scariness ends in a pirouette on the podium as we celebrate our victory. Now, the rest of this episode is brought to you by a comment that we had in one of our recent videos that basically requests that we try out Cockpit View. So that's exactly what we've done. We're starting in Baku. Thank you, Joseph, for the comment. We've tried it in Cockpit View just for you, and after a lot of practice, and by practice I mean crashing in the other part of the online lobbies, we decided to take our talents in the cockpit to the ranked game mode. As you can see, it's not gone well, but I felt like a pro enough to take it into actual racing that meant something. And well, we had various ranges of success here with the cockpit view. I'm not gonna lie, I did find it pretty hard. The visibility is really tricky. Knowing when to brake, where to brake, how hard to brake and stuff like that with the lack of visibility was very difficult. And yeah, I have to say, anyone that does play in cockpit view, I have to tip my hat off to you. It's a level of gaming that I don't think I'm personally quite ready for on a permanent basis. But for the few races that I did do it. You know what? It wasn't so bad. That's the way I'll put it. And back to the rank lobbies. Cockpit view at Baku. We're in second place. And things are going okay so far. We've not crashed yet. As looking behind us, Papa Dane manages to just avoid the back of our car. That's something that you might have to look for in a later part of this episode. But we're managing around the streets of Baku pretty comfortably, just avoiding the wall there. But we're not really making any inroads into the race lead, and that's the main thing. We're very, very cautious as we don't want to take off a front wing. We don't want to lose a wheel. We don't want to DNF from this race in our first competitive lobby in this cockpit view. And yeah, I am struggling quite a bit. Anyone that does play on Cockpit, let me know what it is I may be missing. Bear in mind, I am on a controller. I don't have a wheel and sort of rig set up at the minute. That is the next part of my progression. Hopefully, if we continue making this sort of YouTube content, we'll be looking to get a wheel and a rig set up. Maybe that will help if we are in cockpit mode. I'm not sure. But I have to say, racing like this, it is very, very immersive. It is just very difficult to see. As you can look in front, the guy in first place is directly in line with where the halo is. You can't see them whatsoever. So all of the respect in the world to anyone that uses cockpit view, more respect in the world to Formula One drivers, as if they needed me for that, as we completely misjudge the inside curb there, lose a bit of our front wing hitting into the wall, and Papa Dane sees an opportunity to close the gap. He's now under half a second. We brake early because we're very scared, and he hits into the back of us and makes us spin around. We now have no front wing, and it's going to be a very long rest of the race around Azerbaijan as we hit the wall again. We then misjudge the inside curb again, and that is the end of our race in cockpit view. And I think that might be the last that cockpit view sees of me as we head to Hungary for the last race of this episode. We started in P6. Can't really avoid that incident there, but somehow we get a penalty for it, causing a collision. Don't really know why. We're warned. We didn't really have anything to do with that. I didn't have enough time to get out of the way. But as we know, with F1, the warning system and the penalty system can be a little bit backwards. And as you could notice, we've gone back to our original view here. I just think from the way that I like to race, and also for content purposes, visually, it's just that I find it a little bit easier. And I'm not sure I need that level of immersion in the cockpit in my life personally. If anyone wants me to try again on a different camera angle, let me know in the comments down below. It's something that I can definitely try to bring you and see if it's something that does work out in the future. But as we continue around Hungary at the end of lap number 1, we're sitting in 4th place quite comfortably. I feel as though there's a move coming on P3. Can we get ourselves onto the podium? Maybe. Even though we've got a little bit of damage, I can sense an overtake coming soon if we do bide our time and we may be just a little bit patient. Let's see what we can do. And as we push on towards a bit further into lap number 2, we have now closed the gap considerably onto our P3 racing opponent. And we look around the outside. I don't think there's going to be enough room to get a move done there, but we are pushing very, very hard. He brakes a lot harder than we do, so we have to kind of bail out of that one. And now we're trying to follow him around the trickiest parts of this Hungarian circuit, and we brake super late, close up to the back of him, get a warning for exceeding track limits. That's 2 warnings now. We have to be careful. We don't want a penalty, as again, somebody's made a mistake on the inside coming out of that turn in. We go through their ghost and we look to dive down the inside. There's not a space there. That is completely my error. I don't really know what I was thinking there. I've ruined both of our races there, so I do apologize. We're now down to P6, and that's going to be the end of our podium pursuit. But to end off the video, what we have done is we've gone back for a final lap of Cockpit View, where we're not battling anyone, and we kind of want to just see if we can do a clean lap on this game. And it's progression. It's progression. We finish a lap quite cleanly. Not very fast, I might add. It wasn't a personal best. It wasn't the fastest in the lobby on this day. But at least we managed to bring the car home in one piece, unlike the multiple races you saw the slight clips of before. But yeah, if you do enjoy different views, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see if I can maybe try it out. One race win today where we done very, very well. A lot of crashes, and then finishing things off in Cockpit View in P5. And I just want to say thanks once again for everyone supporting these videos on the channel. If you are new around here, hit subscribe. We do go with weekly Formula 1 content, and we will be going live with F1 Manager content as well, as despite 2 warnings and a collision, our safety rating goes up, which seems to be the problem with this game. But in the meantime, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you for more videos next week.